Alright, what is up everybody? Hello, and welcome to the Weekend Preview. I'm Darkside Phil. Today is Sunday, December 4th, 2016, which means, that's right, first of all, it's the beginning of the final month of the year, so brand new month, a lot to talk about, right? It's a whole new situation with Patreon and everything going on with that. I've got good news in regards to November. I've got great news in regards to December's goal coming up. There's a lot of stuff to talk about in this video. It's going to be a lengthy one, but it's going to cover a plethora of topics, including, yes, my return to Twitch TV, which happened this past week, and how I'm going to be handling live streaming this week. A ton of stuff to go over, all right? So first and foremost, let's talk about what I've been up to so you're up to snuff, especially if you haven't been paying attention to the stuff that I've been doing recently. Primarily right now, I'm focusing on two projects. The first is my ongoing Pokemon Moon playthrough, and the other is my Final Fantasy 15 playthrough. Incidentally, both are RPGs, although they are pretty different styles of RPG. They're both very lengthy. They're both games that at this point I've played about 20 or more hours into each playthrough, and I'm not even close to the end of these games. If I'm to understand correctly, I am more than halfway through Pokemon Moon, and I am actually at this point, I think as of this session that I'm playing, I think if I advance the story of Final Fantasy 15 anymore, I'll now be in the second half, because I think I just ended Chapter 8, and the game has 15 chapters, if I'm to understand it correctly. So the good news is, I got giant headway in those games, right? I really enjoyed playing them, and I hope that you've enjoyed those playthroughs. The bad news is, unfortunately, I'm going to be caught up with other new games. There are other new games coming out in the month of December. In particular, there's 3 games coming out in December that I'm very interested in, that I'm definitely going to be covering, that I'm going to be talking about in this video, that are going to be a focus for me. Which means that games like our ongoing RPGs, they're not going away, they're not going to be canceled, but they're going to be kind of the back burner game, the game that I play when I have a chance, or if maybe I'm bored of doing one game so much, I want to mix things up, so I decide to throw it in for a random session or a random stream. I'll talk about that right now in the weekly preview, alright? So this week's going to be very exciting. There's new releases this week, 2 of them actually, both of which I think people are really interested in seeing. But before I get to that, let's talk Patreon to get it out of the way, all right? First of all, great news, ladies and gentlemen. It is official. We hit our funding goal again for the month of November, so great. I mean, this is a great streak after the slow time we had in the summer. Being able to hit the funding goal month after month after month is an awesome thing. And I want to say thank you to those who pledged in November, in particular those who pledged in October when I announced that I was having some trouble with my business, who kept your pledges, because there were a ton of people who were newcomers in October and they held over, and it looks like they're going to be ongoing pledgees of mine. You know, the one worry is, oh great, I got a surge in October, now watch it go boop all the way back down to where it was. That didn't happen at all. So thank you to those who did pledge and stayed. Awesome. All right. Now, what does this mean? It means that there's going to be a multiplayer event in late December and early January. I already have the dates set for late December. It's actually going to be December 27th, 28th, and 29th. So that's a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That gives everyone 2 days after Christmas to, number 1, get all your presents. Number 2, open the presents, right? See what games you actually got for Christmas. Or if you got money or gift cards for Christmas, you can go out and buy the games that you want to participate and play with me in this event, all right? So those who pledged $5 or more in November, what's going to happen is tonight, I am going to create a thread on the kingofhate.com forums in the patron-only section, and it's going to be basically, if you are going to participate in this event, please post up what games you're available for and what session you think you'll be available for. Would you be more available during the end of December or maybe the early January, okay? So people are going to be posting, I want to play this game and hopefully I can get in early or late December. Oh, I want to play this game, but I can't really make it that late December. I'll be busy. I would like to do it in early January. And that's going to be a thread where I get all that data for the next couple of weeks, and then right before Christmas, probably the week before Christmas, what I'll do is I'll accumulate all that data, and I'll say, okay, let's lock in people for sessions, and we'll get people scheduled out for sessions and everything. I'll get people's PSN names and their Xbox Live names so we can have these private lobbies. It's going to be a great event. Just to remind everyone, Battlefield 1, Titanfall 2, both Call of Duty games, Overwatch, and Gears of War 4. Those are the games I'm playing in this multiplayer event. So it's going to be excellent. I cannot wait, and I hope that people are really excited who pledged for this event. In addition, this will be a cool event to watch on Twitch because this is not going to be an event where I have to be like hyper focused on what's going on in the multiplayer. This could be an event where, yeah, I'm playing with people, but I also can kind of, you know, chat with people in the stream chat and stuff and make comments about the gameplay and stuff that's going on. So it could be a lot more of a fun event for those who watch me on Twitch and aren't just looking for me to be hyper focused on the game that I'm playing. They want a little bit more interaction. This could be something like that. So if you pledge in November, check your patreon.com inboxes later tonight, and you will see a PM from me if I need information from you to get you your perks, all right? Now, if you think I owe you a perk and I didn't PM you on patreon.com, that's something fishy. It means something went wrong with the data on Patreon, so please message me, and I will get back to you with information, and we'll get it cleared out. I'll clear it up, okay? All right. Now, that's the past. Now let's talk about the future, the month of December. Since this new month just started, time to announce the new Patreon goal for the month of December. For those who, number one, have been asking me to go back to Twitch TV ever since I left 2 years ago, and for those who are asking me to change my streaming style to be something completely different, you're going to love this event. Without further ado, this is the very first time I'm showing it to anyone. Here it is. It is the Twitch and Chill Marathon. What does that mean? It means that if we hit the funding goal on my Patreon for the month of December, I'm going to be doing a 7+ hour long marathon, similar to all the marathons that I've done in the past, with a twist. Unlike those other marathons, if you remember, when I'm playing the games, I'm like hyper-focused on the game. It's all about the game. It's like I'm doing an ongoing playthrough for YouTube, right? This stream is going to be completely different. When I'm on this stream is going to be all about interacting with people in the stream chat. It's going to be about having fun and talking back and forth. And yes, I'll be playing a game, but the game will be secondary to the social interaction of the stream. And it'll be more like, oh, okay, people are giving me hints on the game, and I could do that, implement that in the game while we're talking back and forth about other stuff. Okay? So I think this is going to be something completely unique and different, and I've never done before, and I'm very curious to see how it goes. Now, this is going to be a 7+ hour long stream, a marathon social stream, so that's why I need to have, obviously, the goal hit, the funding goal, because if I did a 7+ hour stream and I got backed up on all the games that I'm playing for YouTube and everything, it would screw everything up. In this case, since I'm getting the funding to do it, to take the day off, this will be perfect. All right, now, if you pledge $5 or more in the month of December to my Patreon, you will be able to nominate and vote on what games you'd like to see me play during this marathon. And here's the thing, I am aware that there's tons of these social games on Twitch. There's games that literally didn't get popular until people used them as a social means to talk and communicate with people on Twitch. It's not that the game is great, it's that the game is a good chill game to do while I'm on Twitch. Now, I'm just going to throw this out there, even though I don't know how well this is going to work. A game that may do really well is Minecraft, because when I was playing Minecraft, 2 years ago now, it was a game that I said, wow, this is the kind of game that you can really just mellow out and play, and it's a side game you're playing it while you're doing other things. I don't know how well that'll work, because Minecraft, when I tried to stream it and capture it last time, came out terrible. If you guys remember, it came out really pixelated and everything. I think I could make it work, though. I think if I mess around with it enough, I could probably make it work. So anyway, yeah, that's one. Or like you see here, Darkest Dungeon or Stardew Valley. These could be the kind of games where I don't necessarily need to 100% be hyper-focused on the game and everything and be doing... The other thing is, I might not even record it for YouTube. I'm actually of the impression that maybe I shouldn't record it for YouTube. Because if I record it for YouTube, now I gotta be constantly cutting parts and all that. If I'm not recording it, that's awesome. That means I can leave it as an archive on Twitch. Anyone who wants to see it can see this chill stream archived on Twitch at any time. And I don't have to record or anything. I can just play the game and relax, right? Just let it go, let it run. So that's kind of what I'm thinking I'm going to do, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, this is awesome. It's the first time I've ever done an event like this, okay? And quite honestly, I'm really excited. I want to see, it's an experiment, right? It's an experiment. If this works and people love this event, I may do streams like that all the time. Maybe once a week, you know what I mean? A 3-hour chill stream where I just play any game and I mess around with the stream chat and I don't record and it's really just archived on Twitch, rather than everything I do has to be a playthrough for YouTube. Everything I do has to be a playthrough for YouTube, okay? So that's a great event. if you're interested, I urge you pledge. Let's make it happen right away. Boom, solidify it. And then we can get all hyped for it and see what happens. Because the thing is, right now, let's face it, with all the new releases I'm playing right now, the year-end series right around the corner, and you remember my Game of the Year awards, the most disappointing games of the year, the funniest moments countdown, and this year, I may do, for KO Gaming, a best of each category countdown. Like, I might do the best first-person shooter, the best role-playing game, the best this and that. I may actually do that for KO Gaming, which is going to take up even more of my time. I know fully well that I'm not going to have time to try to do a new kind of stream anytime soon. So that's why if it's a cool goal for this month, we hit the goal, wow, I can have a whole day set for it in January, okay? Fair enough, fair enough. Now, that's Patreon. We got it out of the way. Right over there, patreon.com/darksidephil. If you're interested in pledging, please go ahead and do so. You have till December 31st to be part of that event, okay? Keep in mind, it's not just about that. There's other perks and stuff that you can get, and it supports me here on YouTube. It allows me to keep doing this as a job, so please consider pledging if you haven't. Now let's get to the fun stuff this week, because there's tons of it, all right? First of all, tonight, not so much. Tonight, after I finish with this video and I start uploading it, I have to do patron work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that thread that I just told you about on my forums on thekingofhate.com. I have to go through all the data from Patreon for November and in December charges and figure out whose charges applied to December, or excuse me, November. And then I have to send out all those PMs on Patreon. It's a painstaking process. It's completely manual, and it takes like over an hour. It takes probably just to do the PMs takes several hours, because I have to go through the data and everything. So that will not be a fun occurrence. But starting tomorrow, we got good stuff. First of all, tomorrow, Monday, December 5th, no live streams, okay? As much as I've enjoyed live streaming on Twitch all this week and all that, tomorrow makes more sense for me to not live stream, because I got personal stuff going on. In fact, I'm going to be making a new pot of my homemade Italian sauce in the morning. And typically what happens is that lasts longer, takes longer to do. So I start later, but I play longer too. So rather than stream, I said, no, nah, we don't need to stream. I'm going to be doing more Final Fantasy 15 tomorrow. And I'm at night going to be doing more Pokemon Moon. So for those who are following along both of the playthroughs, you're going to get new videos for both games tomorrow on DSP Gaming, but no live streams. Tuesday is when, boom, double trouble. 2 new releases, okay? We've got The Last Guardian. Oh my god, finally the fucking game is actually releasing. If you can fucking believe it, yes, it's actually coming out. Some people doubted the game would ever come out. I mean, the thing technically got canceled, even though it wasn't ever really canceled. It's actually coming out this week. Is it going to be any fucking good? I don't know. And you know what? I'm going into it completely open-minded I don't have any expectations, even though I've now seen the game in its earliest build, and then I saw it in its latest build at E3 and all that. I'm just going to go in it and play it for what it is. I'm going to judge it for what it is. I'm going to hopefully enjoy it. Hopefully it's a really charming, artistic, puzzle platforming style game. I hope so. We'll see what happens, and we'll go from there, all right? That's going to be awesome. And also on Tuesday, Dead Rising 4. And how cool is it that Dead Rising 4 is actually set in the holiday season, which we're in right now, in the Christmas mood. I'm sure there's supposed to be, like, Christmas-themed stuff and everything in it. So I'm super excited for both freaking games. I think that it's going to be an awesome day, an awesome week, actually, covering these 2 new games for you. Now, the way it's going to work... There will be 2 live streams on Tuesday. One will be at noon Pacific time, like usual. The second will be at 7 p.m. Pacific time, like usual, all right? Now, what order will the games be in? Well, I did do a quick poll on Twitter last night, and it was almost neck and neck, but overnight it actually leaned in favor of The Last Guardian, and Last Guardian was at like 56%, while I believe Dead Rising 4 was like 44%. Here's what I'll do. I'll give it a fair shake, all right? That was the preliminary poll. Tonight, whatever. Tomorrow night on Twitter, Monday night, I will post another poll, and this one will say definitively, which do you want to see tomorrow? I get the feeling it's still going to go the way that it went the first time, but let's do it one more time, because the first poll was pretty early, and that'll be the order that I stream the games on Tuesday. Now, don't worry. If the game that you wanted doesn't win the poll, on Wednesday, I'm going to stream the opposite order. I'm going to flip-flop. So whatever I do first on Tuesday will be second on Wednesday and vice versa. So for 2 days straight, 2 streams each day, flip-flopping the games around, that'll be a lot of fun, okay? Thursday is all dependent on what I'm liking the most, because if I like one game more than another and I want to advance more in it, I'll probably do that as my main gameplay stream on Thursday, all right? That'll be my main focus. And that'll continue all week. Now, here's the cool thing about this. I have flexibility. Let's say I'm playing these games, I play them for 3 straight days, and I'm like, man, you know, they're good games, but I'm getting burnt out now because now I played these games for 3 days, and I really feel like I need a break. I could go back and do a session of Final Fantasy, or I could do a session of Pokemon, right? That's what I like about having those games, is that there's go-to games that I can go back to when I get burnt out on something, right? Or, hey, maybe The Last Guardian, after all these years of development, will end up being like a 6-hour-long game, and I beat it in 2 sessions. Well, then I'll go back to one of the other games. You know what I mean? That's the advantage of having a fallback and having that flexibility in my schedule, which I like. So, that's the deal. That's how it's going to go down. 2 gameplay streams Tuesday, 2 gameplay streams Wednesday, potentially 2 gameplay streams Thursday, and then later on in the week, maybe I'll stop streaming. Maybe I'll say, okay, let's take a break. Let's not stream for a couple days. I'll still be doing gameplay, but let's not stream for a couple days. I'll play it all by ear. Now, what I'm hoping is ultimately people get very excited. They come to Twitch to see me do the debuts of these new games. These will be the first new games I've ever debuted on Twitch in 2 years, right? And I'll get that day one hype, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I am excited for both games this week, and I hope that they turn out good, all right? So that's really going to take us through the week. Those 2 games balanced with the 2 RPGs. This weekend, there will be a new episode of DSP Tries It, FYI. I already have it already filmed and everything ready to go. I know some people were, oh, Phil's not putting up DSP Tries It as often. I didn't do one for almost a month. Now we're back in the groove of things. So I got another one for this week, and I'll probably have another one the week after, too, okay? Outside of all that, the one other new game that's coming out this month is The Walking Dead Season 3, although they're not calling it Season 3. It's got, like, the secondary title or whatever, and I'm not exactly sure what that is. But yeah, The Walking Dead is going to be coming out on December 20th, okay? So that is the Tuesday before Christmas. And supposedly it's not 1, but 2 episodes. Okay, I don't know why they did that. Why would you even separate it episodically if you're going to release it on the same day? Why not do 1 super episode? You know what I mean? I don't know, but they're doing it like that. 2 episodes. Yes, I'll be playing both of those episodes on release day. Absolutely. Just makes sense, all right? Now, outside of all that stuff, the year-end series I'm going to start working on shortly. So what's going to happen is once I start finishing up these game playthroughs, which are the next I'd say give me 2 weeks, I'll start finishing them up, I'm thinking, okay? What I'll start to do is I will split my days, where the first half of the day will be gameplay of whatever game I'm currently playing, and the second half will be edited style content, whether it's the reviews for these games that I'm doing, or once I finish with the reviews, I'm going to start working on the year-end series, alright? Year-end series take a lot of time and effort to put together, but ultimately they always end up successful, so I'm happy that people turn out every year to check them out, okay? This year, the year-end series will be on KO Gaming. They will not be on DSP Gaming. I must emphasize the change, because people, whenever there's change, they don't understand it, or they get confused, you know. It will be on KO Gaming. I strongly recommend you go over to youtube.com/KO Gaming 1. That's the address. Subscribe now. Get it done. Get it subscribed now, so when this content starts coming out, you get to see it nightly, rather than, oh, is it up yet? What channel is it on again? You can subscribe now, and you're all set, all right? So, that's cool. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because the best of the year, I screwed up. The funniest moments of the year is what I meant to say, is coming up. The funniest moments of the year countdown. Typically, it ends up being usually the second one I do, because usually what I do is the most disappointing games of the year, the funniest moments of the year, and then I usually do my Game of the Year awards. Or if I do something in the interim, I squeeze it in there, all right? That's kind of what I'm planning on doing again this year, but that means that I need your input, because I need people to nominate their funniest moments of the year on thekingofhate.com. Because what happens is people have been nominating all year on my forums, and I take that thread, and I take those, and I say, oh, here's the most nominated moments, and I split them into polls that people can vote on. So I need you to nominate. If you've been watching my playthroughs recently and you saw something really funny or really interesting, you know, wow, that could be awesome for a countdown that people will want to vote on, you gotta post it up on the kingofhate.com forums. Just so you know, you go to the forums, there's a general section, and right in the general section, it's a sticky, highlighted post that's been there all year, and people have been posting up their favorite highlighted moments, so please do so, because time's running out. It's only going to be probably a couple more weeks, and then I'm going to start working on that series, and I'm going to need that input to draw upon in order to actually make the series, okay? So please do so. So there you have it. A fun week ahead with more Final Fantasy, more Pokemon, 2 new game releases with The Last Guardian and Dead Rising 4. Lots of streaming going on Twitch TV this week that I hope will, you know, entertain you, and especially people who are like, wow, he's finally back on Twitch. We love it. Thank you. And you know what? I will say this. Thank you to those who for 2 years, you harped on me. You said, Phil, whenever you can, you got to go back to Twitch. Whenever you can, you got to go back to Twitch. Whenever you can, you got to go back to Twitch. The bottom line is this. There's still things about Twitch I disagree with. But you know what? There's things about YouTube I disagree with, too. There's things about everything that I disagree with. Sometimes when you become an adult, you have to bite the bullet and be more mature about it and say, all right, even though I don't necessarily agree with this thing, I'll agree to compromise. Yes, I'll come back to Twitch if I can stream at one quality and record at another, and it just so happens that I found the means to do that, so now I can finally go back to Twitch after 2 years of basically abstaining and boycotting the site. So thank you to those of you who did kind of, not necessarily nag, but basically kind of stuck in there and said, I hope Phil finally goes back to Twitch. You know, I hope that there's a solution, because the bottom line is this. Number one, Twitch is the most popular streaming service right now in the world. It is. It's where most people who are going to live stream gameplay, that's where they're streaming. And I have seen increased attendance this week. Yet, is it massively overblown? No. But I'm also not playing new releases on release day, which is how I used to get the increased attendance when I used to stream on Twitch. I haven't done that yet. This week, maybe, with The Last Guardian, Dead Rising 4, maybe I will see that increased attendance, and I'll get some extra followers. I'll get some subs. I'll get people cheering with bits. We'll get people all excited again, all right? And I do want to say thank you to those who have basically said, Phil, you don't have to change the way you are or the way you do things. You just have to maybe bend a little or adjust a little. So, for example, people love it when people who stream on Twitch give thank yous to those who subscribe or do these cheers with bits. I still don't understand the whole system. I guess it allows you to say a special cheer, and sometimes you get posted in the stream chat or something like that. And basically it means that you're donating money, right? You're actually giving money to the streamer for something awesome that happened in the stream. I do not, and I repeat, I will still not interfere with my gameplay. When you're watching my playthroughs on YouTube, you will never hear me say, oh, thanks to this guy subbing in that. No, because the YouTube playthroughs are just that. They're the playthroughs. They're separate from what I'm doing on Twitch. I don't want it to be, changed or altered because of that, all right? But what I've been doing is on pre-stream or during a commercial break or at the end of the stream, I give thank yous to the people who've participated with subs and bits, and people seem to like it. They're like, wow, that's cool that Phil's doing that. He never did that before. It's a different atmosphere. 2 years ago, Twitch TV was one thing. Now it's completely changed. That's the whole site now. The whole fucking site. The goal of the site is paid subs, bits, sell t-shirts, and that's it. That's like the whole business. They actually used the Twitch. I'm not even lying here. The Twitch TV logo used to have Twitch TV, and it used to say, like, the premier or the #1 or whatever, the leading website for gaming or for streaming games. They did away with the byline, and now it says it's a website that's all about social interaction with people. Wow. Because you know what it is? They realize just saying streaming games isn't profitable, but if you're socially interactive with someone and they're constantly thanking you for subs and bits and everything, that's how you make money. And I'm not going to do that, but I would take time in between on breaks and stuff to do it. So thank you to those who worked with me, who've been nice. Let me tell you, this week, the streaming's been awesome because the chat, people are interactive, they're having fun. I've seen double, triple the amount of people that were chatting when I used to stream on YouTube, and they're having so much fun with it. They're loving it. They're saying, wow, this is great. We get to interact with more people. It's a better environment now, and it's good. I love it. I'm really enjoying it. I have to say, after 1 week of streaming on Twitch, 2 thumbs up. I hope that it can only get better from here, and that streaming on there in the future, people will not only like the gameplay that I'm doing, but like we'll get more people coming in on new releases, and it'll just grow and grow and grow. We'll see, because it's awesome. Also, I have to say thank you to Twitch, who allowed me to keep all of my followers, basically allowed me to get subs right away, allowed me to do all this stuff right away. Awesome of them. So everything's been going pretty good, at least in that regard. Let's play it by ear. Let's see how it goes this week with the new releases. But thank you, and I hope that I will see you for all this new stuff this week, okay? That is it for the weekend preview. Thank you for watching. Right now, without further ado, to end the video, special thanks to the following November patrons who made this upcoming special multiplayer event happen. Peace out, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow for the offline gameplay, and then, of course, I'll see you on Twitch on Tuesday for the new premieres. Peace out.